So just to clarify exactly what this video is, yes, Spotify does develop video games. They're also a game developer slash publisher. They don't just do music. They're not just a music app. I can't believe you guys, didn't know this. It's 2018. You didn't know this? Man, that's crazy. All joking aside, basically what this list is it's the top 10 games that I enjoy playing the most while listening to music, and they are ordered in the for the level of enjoyment I have when I'm just turning my mind off and playing them with the music going on in the background. It's basically how well do these games and their gameplay accompany this type of attitude towards gaming, this sort of casual, just sit back and enjoy sort of attitude. I have different feelings towards these games as a whole, and I feel like the way that they are numbered shouldn't reflect my overall thoughts on which game I like more than another game, or vice versa, or whatever. I don't know if that really made any sense to you, but basically, not my definitive thoughts on the game, not like a definitive top 10 of which are my favorite, just favorite in terms of sitting down, turning my brain off, and playing while listening to music. So, let's get into it. So with number 10, we're kicking things off with Super Meat Boy, a fun little 2D platformer that was developed by only 2 people, and their story can actually be seen in the documentary film Indie Game. I actually really recommend you go check that out. But as for this game, the platforming in later levels is incredibly difficult, so a little music to relax is definitely welcome with this title. Or you could play some of the easy early levels and just double the relaxation, or perhaps double XP the relaxation if you prefer. Anyways, that's my number 10 pick, and I definitely feel like it's a platformer that accompanies listening to music pretty damn well. Number 9, King of Fighters 14. This is the first, and trust me, it won't be the last fighting game on this list. Fighting games are always made better by music and vice versa. King of Fighters 14 is already a fun fighting game with great gameplay on its own, but boy do I love playing my favorite character Vanessa and rocking out. And boy am I glad Vanessa was a DLC character. She was my favorite character in King of Fighters 2000 as well, and seeing her return in this game is amazing. It sucks that I had to pay extra money for her, but it was amazing. Definitely King of Fighters 14, that's my number 9 pick. Devil May Cry. Now, Devil May Cry admittedly already has some badass music, and it doesn't necessarily need Spotify or any music you may have in your playlist to make it better. That doesn't mean you can't just sit back and have fun with the great action that this game provides while listening to your favorite music tracks. Besides, this game's action is so fucking good, and it's kind of got like fighting game mechanics and systems built into each character that pulling off like combos and stylish moves while listening to your favorite tracks is just something to experience. So yeah, number 8, Devil May Cry 4 in particular. Number 7, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Remastered. Clearly Call of Duty was going to be on the list. After all, I did kind of hint at it, but not Black Ops 3. No, we already have a better advanced movement shooter coming up, so definitely Call of Duty 4 Remastered is the one we're going to go with. This is a gorgeous port of COD 4, and it gives us the classic gameplay and the mindless shooting of Call of Duty. And that mindless shooting really gives way for the music to take center stage. And it's a great game to play while listening to Spotify. Number 6 is number 5, Street Fighter V to be more specific. Capcom's classic fighting game franchise goes really well with Spotify and listening to music as you play. This game perhaps has the best gameplay of any fighting game similar to it, and it gets even funner when you are rocking out. Definitely recommend listening to music while playing arcade mode or online mode in Street Fighter V. Remember I said KOF 14 wasn't the last fighting game that was going to be on this list? Yeah, Mortal Kombat X, immediately following Street Fighter V. A gory and gruesome experience, and yes, I've got another fighting game on the list, and it won't be the last, blah, 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 you already heard that. I just feel like these sorts of games go great with listening to music. For Mortal Kombat in particular, a neat electronic beat works best, although the game would probably be 1 or 2 spaces higher on this list if I could find the badass Mortal Kombat theme song from the movie on Spotify. You can find it, but really you're listening to like remixed versions and piano versions, and it's not the original version of the Mortal Kombat theme song from the Paul W.S. Anderson movie, that's all I can say. It'd be a couple notches higher probably, maybe number 3 if you could, but unfortunately you can't. Of course, if you go somewhere else you can, like listening to it on YouTube or something, but Spotify is my platform of choice in this regard, okay? And that's why the video says top 10 Spotify games, even though that as a sentence doesn't make any sense. Next up, we have Resident Evil 6 at number 4. Love it or hate it, I feel Resident Evil 6 has the best action the series has ever seen, and the fantastic fun gameplay goes great with your musical playlist. RE6 gets a bad rap, but you gotta admit, it's a fun game, especially when you have the music blasting. Number 3, yet another first-person shooter that I hinted at. Titanfall 2, my second favorite shooter of the 8th generation of consoles. My favorite is Rainbow Six Siege, but that's not a good one to play while listening to music, because sound is kind of a pretty big deal in that game, being able to hear your enemy and whatnot. But TF2, on the other hand, has this fast, kinetic gameplay that really packs a punch. A truly masterful FPS for getting your rock on. I mean, what game would go better with some sick beats than a game that takes Halo ODST and Gundam and makes a pretty little TF2 baby out of it, huh? I don't think there is one. Man, Titanfall 2. Wish that game had better sales. Number 2, Tekken 7. Now, Tekken 7 is a game that definitely does not need music to make it better. But during the story mode, when you're stuck on a hard boss like Devil Kazuya, or you're fighting an intense online match, a little bit of relaxing music sometimes holds the key to victory. Perhaps some, I don't know, Beyond the Sea by Bobby Darin, to really let the tannins mellow and kick some ass, to some smooth jazzy jazz to kinda keep you ready and in the game and keep your mind sharp and focused. Tekken 7 is just a great fighting game in general with amazing mechanics and a really cool story mode. Definitely goes great with listening to music too. But don't worry, this is the last fighting game that's on the list, so rejoice. And last but not least, number 1 is Schmitty Werber Jaegerman Jenkins. He was number 1. He was number 1 all along. No, clearly I'm kidding. Broforce is number 1, and it's a game that has so much non-stop action and the craziest environmental destructibility I've ever seen in a video game. It's far from my favorite game on this list, especially of all time. Definitely nowhere near that. But it's certainly the one I've played the most while listening to music, and it is perhaps the best game when it comes to just dumb, fun action and relaxing and taking a load off and listening to music while you're playing it. A really cool game. I definitely recommend it no matter what, but if you're a Spotify listener, you might particularly enjoy it. Now, I know this was definitely an unorthodox video, especially for my channel, but nevertheless, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Anyways, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and join me again when I invite you back next time. See ya!